Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you have found my channel during my craziness of December, where I'm posting every day. Hello to all of our new friends here. So today I'm here with a post review. This is my last kit for November. This is Santa's Little Helpers from Craftbily. The artist is John Williams. I think I said in my month in review that it was a kit from Daniel Rogers. I don't know why I said that. Well, I kind of know why. I have a lot of Christmas kits from Craftbily that are all from Daniel Rogers. So for some reason, I lumped this one in, but the artist for this one is actually John Williams. It's a 46 centimeter by 61 centimeter round drill. It would probably help if I had my notes for my post review. I'm losing it today. Okay. This, like I said, was my last kit for November. It was one that kind of replaced a different kit I wanted to work on. I just wasn't feeling that one. So I asked over on Instagram, and a lot of you voted, if you follow me over there, you voted for me to work on this one instead, which I'm happy about. I'm glad I decided to work on this one instead. I don't think I would have enjoyed the other kit as much. So I'm glad that you guys convinced me that it was the right thing to do. It was the right change to make. So this kit was fun to work on for the most part. I did have a couple of small problems. None of them are like deal breakers for me, but they are things that I wanted to note in case you are working on a Craftibly or would like to work on a Craftibly or for any other reason. I am not completely sure if this piece is still available. I'm leaning towards it's not. Because I feel like I looked for it recently and it wasn't there, but I will link it down below in the description box, or I'll make a note if it's no longer available. My biggest critique with this one is that the drills seem to have been different sizes. Now, normally with round drills, that doesn't really affect the diamond painting because they don't need to fit perfectly together like a square. Like if you have a square and the sides are like ragged or there's little extra pieces and they don't fit together, they all kind of just like pop up. Normally with round kits, that's not a problem, but I did actually have that issue with this kit in a couple of areas. So I have since like rolled it really well, so I don't have any popping drills to show you, but there were a few spots where the drills seemed to not have enough room. So if I had like 4 different colors and I had a different color at the top, a different color at the bottom, the same on 2 sides, and I'm trying to add a 4th color in the middle, it wouldn't always fit. And I'm not saying I'm like the best placer. I do use a multi-placer. Sometimes things get a little wonky, but I'm a semi-perfectionist when it comes to my drills. I do like them to appear to be nicely placed and in a somewhat straight line. So I'm not going to say I placed my drills perfectly and I still had that problem, but it is something that I noticed I don't want to say a lot, but I noticed a few times as I was working on the kit. I would just kind of move along and then a drill would have popped up, or I wouldn't be able to get one perfectly in place in the middle or whatever. So I feel like some of the drills were different sizes. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that drills of the same color. I mean that different DMC color drills appeared to be a different size. So for example, if I had 310 and 666, those are just numbers I'm randomly pulling out of my head, the 666 could have appeared to have been a little larger than the 310. So the drills by color, like in each particular color, were consistent, but I think across the board, they weren't. So some reasons that could be is because it's a different batch of drills. Maybe they were switching manufacturers and they were just trying to move through what they had. I don't know for sure. It's just something that I noticed and something that I wanted to share with you guys in case you're working on a Craftibly or plan to in the future. I don't recall that being something I've had a problem with in the past with Craftibly. And I wouldn't say it's a deal breaker for me either. I do have another Craftbily kit planned for December, so it's something that I'll be paying attention to, seeing if it becomes, you know, if it's an issue with that kit as well. But I don't necessarily think that it took away from this experience for me. I still really enjoyed this kit. I think it's super cute. I love the two little kids with their sleigh and they're pulling some presents. I'm assuming this is like a neighbor's house or something. There's a really pretty Christmas tree. There's a pretty wreath on the door. So I think it still turned out really nicely, and I'm glad I worked on it. The other thing I will say about the kit itself is I do think it could have benefited from being larger. I don't want to say it needed to have been like 100 by 80 or anything like that, but in the 40 by 60 range, this is 46 by 61. I think maybe if it was like a 50 by 70 or just a little bit larger, we would have gotten some more detail. If you are looking at this not through the camera, it is a little muddy in spots and it's not crystal clear, but like we always say, a diamond painting is meant to be viewed from a distance, so you're probably getting a better image than I am just looking at it. With that being said though, I can still make out everything that's in this kit. This is clearly a Christmas tree. This is clearly a star on top of the Christmas tree. We have presents, we have a scarf and a hat, you know, you have a pom-pom on this hat. So the detail is definitely there. I just think if it had been larger, it would have been a little bit clearer, which is kind of the trend with diamond paintings in general. I was really, really happy with the symbols on this kit. I was very happy with the poured glue. I have had a few kits recently where I haven't been too happy with the poured glue. I did not have any issues with the drill field or the adhesive on this one, which was great. To me, that's like the biggest thing when I'm trying to decide if I enjoyed the kit or if I didn't. If there's been no issues with the drill field or the adhesive, that's like a big check mark. Like, I enjoyed it, if that's the case, you know, other than crappy drills, but I still really enjoyed working on this one. I think there were 3 ABs. There was a pale yellow, which you can see in, I don't know if you can see, I can see. There's some in the window. There was also a red, which there's some of that through this little one's hat here. And I think there's also some in the wreath, which is here. And then there was a white, which I was happy to see made up a lot of the snowflakes, which I think white AB is perfect for those little snowflakes that we have in kits. So as far as the kit goes, you know, those were the couple of things that were like, eh, and then the things that I did really still enjoy about working on it. With the drills, I didn't have any issues with running out of colors. I felt like I had plenty of colors. If you see, if I can get this one open, if you see like an empty container, it's because I had multiple bags, but I feel like I had plenty of every color. It was a nice color palette to work with. It still had like some bright colors mixed in with some of those like traditional Christmas colors, so I enjoyed the color palette. I was also quite impressed with the amount of, or the less, the amount of trash I had. This is it. Look at this. That's it. For, what did I say this was? 46 by 61. Like, that's barely anything. So super impressed with that. Now, like I did mention at the beginning, I did feel like I had some drills that were different sizes. I didn't necessarily pull those out. I just kind of shoved them in and wiggled them around and they fit. And then I rolled over everything. So if you were going to pull out those drills that I deemed too big or a wonky shape, then you may have had more trash. I don't have any plans to frame this or display it, so not too much of a concern for me personally. Let me prompt myself here to put in a full picture so you guys can see it. Whenever I'm like, I'm gonna put a picture in here, that's because when I'm editing, I'm like scrubbing to try and find where I'm going like this, and then I know to put the picture there. So I'm confusing editing Laura right now because I'm keeping the hands going, and she's going to be like, how many pictures are you putting up? Okay, as for my accessories, I used this tray here from JH and Vision Labs. They're over on Etsy. My pen is from C'est Plus Beau à Tour, which I believe they have their own website now. I don't know if they still have an Etsy. I kind of struggled with what accessories to use with this kit, but I thought this had a lot of the colors. So there's like a dark blue and the red, and I like the pine cone and the, what do you call this? I don't know. This part. I just thought it was pretty, and I used Everlasting Tips, the all-in-one single placer, and the, I think this is a 10 maybe. I haven't purchased from them in a long time because I feel like their tips are just really deep and much wider than I prefer these days, but I paid a lot of money for them, so I do try to force myself to use them every once in a while. They're great tips, don't get me wrong, they are great tips. I just haven't ordered from them in quite a while. So there's the pen. My washi tape is this cute Santa tape from Amanda Michelle Designs. I used the NYX's Notions Warmth of the Holidays putty. This smells really good. I am working on my putty video, and this one is so interesting. I feel like a lot of the putties on the market are quite similar. I don't necessarily know how putty is made, but it kind of seems that people figure it out and then they make their own and sell their own, which is great. But this is different from all of those. It's like, I don't know if you've used it before, it's kind of like a gel putty hybrid. It's so strange, but I find that it lasts quite a long time. So I'll be doing a full in-depth review during my putty series, but I do like it. It's the second time I've used one of her putties. My minder is this cute little kitty with a Santa hat. This is from Snarky Crafter Designs. It reminds me of my little Neville. And I did apparently have one of these little release papers from Crafts with Crashly. And this just prompted me to remind me that I had something else to talk about with the drills. So let me do that really quickly. I did have 3 or 4 colors that had some pretty severe clumping drills. Personally, I despise clumping drills. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit on what I said. But obviously it wasn't too bad if I forgot to mention it, but that's why I left this in my basket. So this is a drill grinder from Bella Art de Nicole. What you do is you just pour some of your drills in, you put the top on, and then you push down just slightly because you don't want to break the drills, and twist, and it helps to break them apart. I did have 3 or 4 colors that were like that. It's frustrating, but again, it's not a deal breaker for me because I have this. So I do highly recommend this particular grinder. I think since I purchased this one, they may have updated it. I know some people use like a pill bottle with a quarter. There's a lot of different ways out there, but this drill grinder works really well for me. Maybe I shouldn't throw it around. So yes, those are my final thoughts on this really cute kit from Craftibly. Thank you to everyone who voted and told me to work on this one because I did enjoy it. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts on this one down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!